President Judge Wade Kagerice, Senior Judge Jolene Kopriva, yeah, I'm losing my place, sorry. Also, we have, let me get down my list here, I'm sorry. Judge Paul Agner, I couldn't find you. I know she's here. We have Senator Judy Ward, Representative Scott Barger, Representative Andrea Blair, and all of you. I'd like to take a minute to introduce the officers, Legionnaires of American Legion Post 516, who spearheaded this effort in this campaign. When I call your name, officers, please stand or wave your hand so you can be seen. And just, if you would, we'll give a round of applause after the introduction. Senior Vice, Sean Leddick. Junior Vice, Dave Wusslegel. Adjutant, Joe Patterson. Service Officer, Cindy Dunkle. Finance Officer, Joe Dodson. Judge Advocate, President Judge Wade Kagerice. Sergeant at Arms and our sound man today, Denny Hare. Our chaplain, Pastor Dick Henry. And Matt McGregor, our solicitor. Matt here. And finally, our auxiliary president, Beth Burns. These are the people that made this happen. Planning, execution, it's come a long way. And I'm very proud of that. I want to talk about who's on the board. I served as the chair, and Commissioner Kessling was the co-chair. Nick Burkett, right here. Nick is the man that really was behind the scenes making everything happen. He's what I would refer to as the project manager. He oversaw the contractors and just the ordering of the parts, getting everything in line to bring us here where we are today. So, special thanks. Let's give Nick a round of applause for what he's done. And I'm going to present my first coin of the day to Nick. This is a United States of America 250th coin. All right. Also on the board was Joe Dodson, Bob Gilday, Jamie Orr Rhodes, Joe Patterson, John Rita, and Matt Stuckey. So participating in today's ceremony is Commissioner Kessling, Senior Judge Kopriva, the Altoona Brass Collective Brass Quintet, consisting of, wave when your name's called, Larry Detweiler, Brandon Kunder, Scott Papal, Chris Laird, and Aiden Phillips. You guys are great. Thanks for coming. You brought a touch of class to Hollidaysburg from Altoona. As a point of protocol and procedure, as the brass quintet plays the national anthem, we ask that you stand as you are able. Gentlemen, remove your hats, remain silent, and render the proper honors by saluting or placing your hand over your heart as appropriate. I ask you to take the cue to salute from my commands. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as you are able for the playing of the national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the invocation. Present arms. This time I'd ask Commissioner Kessling to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Sir?
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chaplain?
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Loving God, we greet this 4th of July with grateful hearts as we call to mind a vision of freedom and justice for all upon which our country was built. Today we celebrate the improvements to our bell tower and rededicate it to the people of Blair County and to everyone on this 250th anniversary of our great country. As our citizens look to the county courthouse, seeing the bell tower lit up, showing the time, and hearing the bells, we're grateful to God reminding us on the 4th of July to continue to advocate peace throughout our world. And may we hold fast to the dream and the vision of unity within our country. We give glory and praise to our God and pray that we may always live in harmony as one family united in God's love. To God be the glory. Amen.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Pastor. First, let's acknowledge our musicians. Thank you for bringing music to our ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause. As a commander of American Legion Post 516, I'm very proud of our support to our veterans and our community, but especially today. This past year, American Legion has taken on the task to be the spearhead of the Courthouse Clock Tower campaign. We made our mission to restore the clock tower back to life, serving our community for years to come. I am pleased to report that we have achieved our mission in raising over $100,000. And that thanks goes to every one of you that contributed. Thanks to 130, that's where we are, we're in the upper side of 130, who provided donations to this noble undertaking. And oh, by the way, we're still taking donations if you're waiting for a round to it. That'll go through the end of the month, and that will be the cutoff to get on the plaque. The plaque will be made, it's going to be 17 by 24. It's going to be mounted near the employee exit from the courthouse on the new part of the building. And when you look up, you're going to see the other side of the clock tower. So that'll be very special. We look forward to that. In phase 1 of the clock tower campaign, excuse me, we repaired the clock, all 4 sides, and placed a striker on the bell that it will ring on the hour. We had equipment made in 1876, like the bell, the clock parts, so on, and blended them with modern technology of today. The striker is a computerized machine and will ring on the hour to match the actual time. Hopefully we're going to hear 10 strikes here shortly. We are going to program the clock striker to ring first thing in the morning at 6 a.m. and then last ring will be at 8 p.m. to keep the local citizens happy that there's no bells ringing. Pretty cool technology. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get to 10, but we'll hear it ring. So in phase 2, the clock tower campaign will be in early fall timeframe when the contractor will replace all 4 clock faces. The clock faces that are there now are slightly damaged, and the hands on the clock from 1876 are made of wood. How about that for length of life? So we also will illuminate the clock faces from within. as well as all four sides of the tower being lit every night. So when you come over Catfish or you come west on 22, you're going to see that all lit up. And we'll have special pillars for special events. So, getting close. So, why do they call it Hollidaysburg? Anybody know? Because of the Holiday Massacre. Adam Holiday, the kids were killed. I think there were 4 people massacred by Native Americans on the side of the British. Well, this town continued to grow, and they eventually would name it Hollidaysburg. And you know what Berg means in German? Fortress. So this is Holiday's Fortress. So there's a little piece of history for you to take home today. I got 2 minutes. What do you guys got? 2 minutes. Stand in the door. All right, so one quick thing. The national colors, red, white, and blue. Red is always on the bottom. Represents the blood that was spilled by the American Revolutionary soldiers that came to our independence. White's easy. It's always in the middle. It represents the goodness of our cause. And blue on top for the sky above and the God that watches over us. Red, white, blue. That's your second lesson of the day. I have a joke written down, but I'm not going to do it. That's our sister church. They're a little early. Yeah. God first, then country.
Someone just said 17 seconds.
No pressure. The brass quartet will now play one of my favorite.
Wow.
I think that's standard time, and this is whatever time. So much for that new technology.
9, 10.
Commissioner, did you order this? I know. All right. The brass quartet will now play one of my favorite hymns, the Battle Hymn of the Republic, as we stand in the shadows of this monument dedicated to the men who fought in the Civil War from this hometown. Gentlemen. Great job, guys. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce our first guest speaker, Senior Judge Jolene Kopriva, to provide us with a history lesson about the Grand Courthouse. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Kopriva.
Greetings, Commander Dunkle, American Legion members who have joined us, Commissioner, and other elected officials, my fellow judicial colleagues, and you, the good citizens of Blair County who turned out today. My 40-year career has me feeling the courthouse is my home away from home. So the history of it has always been very important and dear to me. So happy birthday, America, and happy 250 years. I find it a privilege and an honor to be with you in this poignant moment, and I chose a topic, timekeepers. Taking you back 250 years in 1776, where we are was a wooded area, a few settlers, some rivers and streams. And the closest civilization was actually in Frankstown, where Frank Stevens, the proprietor, traded with trappers and Lenape Native Americans who lived in this area. So fast forward to the early 1800s. We were a tiny little hamlet of Hollidaysburg with a small store that had a tavern, a blacksmith shop, and 3 houses. When Pennsylvania decided on a canal in the 1830s, Hollidaysburg boomed. Hotels were created to house the tradespeople, the salespeople, and the canal workers who came to build it. The first bank arrived right here in this gray building on the corner. And professionals like doctors and lawyers came to serve the burgeoning population. In 1846, within a decade, the town leaders finally convinced the governor to create Blair County, and he did so by taking a portion of Bedford and a portion of Huntington and making Blair County, naming it as the only county with the name of a person after John Blair. John happened to be the son of Captain Thomas Blair, who was an extraordinary pioneer in this area and is responsible as an immigrant from Scotland to develop access and forge trailways that many of us use now as roads. We have historically notes from the very first commissioners' meeting of Blair County, and within those notes it notes that they held their meeting under a tree on Allegheny Street. That's how excited they were. We don't know what tree, but that's what the notes reflect. The first courthouse went up very quickly right on this spot, and it was the courthouse and the jail behind it and the gallows. The county outgrew that courthouse very quickly and tore it down. In 1875, construction of this very courthouse began, and it's still standing today. And it was dedicated almost to the day 149 years ago, July 2nd, 1877. We are touching history right here. The newspaper account that came out on July 4th, 1877 reads as follows. On the second day of July, the streets of Hollidaysburg, Blair County's fair capital, are filled with hundreds of the county's bravest sons and fairest daughters. The twin boroughs of Hollidaysburg and Gaysport have turned out their 5,000 upon the streets. From all the regions round about, from the furthest nook, the most isolated cranny, the people have come to honor the stately palace where justice shall hereafter poise her scales and weigh out with impartial judgment for the rich and the poor, the high and the low. The Blair County Courthouse's cultural importance, architecture, and ornamentation have made it a historical landmark. They were right. And here we are today, 149 years later, rededicating the clock tower of this stately structure, reminding us of the importance of this government building, which serves you as the citizens with courts and many governmental services. Speaking of service, we thank and applaud the initiative and the super successful campaign to make this day happen. Truly, the Fort Fetter American Legion has served their country in the past beyond measure and continue their selfless service for others in this recent mission. And bless you and all the donors that you inspired to join you in this clock tower repair. Thank you, Sam Dunkle, for your vision. Just a side note about the bell. History tells us bells had many purposes in 1875. Basically, they served as a method of communication before we had radios, televisions, telephones, and social media of today. Bells were a means of community timekeeping, helping folks mark the time of day, serving as a reminder of curfews, announcing major events, and the reading of declarations, which was very common back then, ringing out celebratory purposes and warning people of fires with their codes and different striking patterns. It's believed that this very bell rang during the Gettysburg Battle of the Civil War to alert the local folks that the battle may be headed toward them. Bells were embedded in the way of life. Today, thanks to the efforts of the American Legion and generous donors, we not only rededicate the clock tower, but we also honor our ancestry and town founding citizens who generously gave of their time and their talents to create this grand courthouse for their purposes and far into the future for us. This is why history matters, folks. First, it helps us understand where we came from. And second, it hopefully inspires us to be present-day timekeepers, not just for today, but to envision a future for others who will come long after us. What are we doing today that will endure and serve others well into the unknown future? It's a noble cause to undertake that need and responsibility. When we consider the passage of time, 250 years as a country, a 149-year-old courthouse, and all the life that has been lived in both this country and this county through those years, we begin to understand that the diversity and changes have been many that have happened right here and will continue to evolve and change as time rushes on. Because in the words of John Mellencamp, the songwriter and singer, life is short, even in the longest day. So, we rededicate this clock tower and bells with a renewed commitment where justice shall poise her scales and weigh out with impartial judgment for the rich and the poor, the high and the low. And may we continue to honor our history and ourselves by continued good stewardship of this historical landmark. May we all keep time in honorable and selfless ways to serve others, known and unknown. Thank you, and God bless America.
So this is my second coin of the day. Now this one's pretty special. On the one side, it has the American eagle on top, two flags with the number 250, then the Liberty Bell, and it says 250th anniversary, 1776 to 2026. And on the other side, it has the national emblem of the eagle. It says the United States of America, and then here's the key. 3 words: honor, history, freedom.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Kopriva. I'm pleased now to introduce our second guest speaker, Commissioner Dave Kessling. Commissioner?
Good morning, and God bless America. Today, as a nation, we celebrate 250 years of our independence, a pivotal moment in history that established the nation's founding principles of liberty, democracy, and self-governance. Today, I ask that we remember a quote from George Washington. "Be Americans. Let there be no sectionalism, no North, no South, no East, no West. You are dependent on one another and should be in one union. In one word, be a nation. Be Americans. Be true to yourself." On this historic day, it is fitting that we assemble here beside this grand, iconic building as a community to celebrate the restoration of the Courthouse clock tower. We celebrate as a government, a community, historians dedicated to the preservation of our values and our identity. In today's fast-paced world with countless deadlines, we unfortunately pass by this historic building without stopping to actually observe the history and the beauty. I don't know when the bell fell silent, nor when Father Time was no longer displayed on the large clock tower dials. I am hopeful when people hear the bell ring, they will stop for a moment and look, and when they do, they will see Lady Justice above the old courthouse entrance. They will notice the 50 sculptured human heads that are always gazing at us, or marvel at the many statues that are displayed around this building. What has excited me about this particular project is being a part of bringing it back to life again, where individuals can look up to see the time and hear the bell sound through our community. As I had mentioned earlier about how busy we are in today's deadlines with cell phones, we often overlook the beautiful courthouse. We also do not realize that we are in a community of heroes. Put plastic around your papers if you're going to read. Sorry. As Sam had said, the original goal was $75,000. We're now at over $130,000, and that's because of you, the community. Although I do not want to detract from what we're here for, that's the celebration of the restoration of the clock tower, I feel it appropriate to acknowledge some of those instrumental in making this day a possibility. This vision, this campaign would not be possible if not for Colonel Sam Dunkle in the American Legion Post 516. Under his leadership, he and the Legion have spearheaded this particular project as one of many they have done in the past. Former President and current Senior Judge Jolene Kopriva Judge Kopriva, after leaving the bench full-time, continues and remains active in the judiciary as a senior judge. She has and continues to be very active in the preservation of Blair County history and being known to give walking tours in Hollidaysburg. If we could give both of them an applause, please. Again, without the support of this community and citizens, this moment would not be possible. Although we would like to recognize every single donor, we cannot. I would, however, like to recognize who gave $2,500 or more to this effort and give you an idea of the support from the community. If you're here and I call your name, if you could please come up these steps. Those donating $10,000, Matt Stuckey. Thank you, Matt. Wanda Dunkle.
Wow, this is awesome.
Nice shirt.
And hat. Let's not forget the hat.
And it's his birthday, that's why I'm wearing it.
The Fort Fetter Auxiliary raised over $8,040 for this project. So if we could have someone who's representing the Fort Fetter Auxiliary, please. Those donating $5,000, Ward Trucking. Is there anyone here representing Ward Trucking?
I believe there's a senator.
We get a double honor today for someone from Ward Trucking and our senator, who's one of the best senators I know, and we're grateful for her support always, so thank you. Patricia Sheets. Those donating $2,500, John Ventura. Sam and Cindy Dunkle. Encompass Health. The Blair County Bar Association. I know I sound like I'm repeating myself, but also the Fort Fetter Legion Post 516. And again, we can't identify everybody or to bring them up here, but just to give you an idea, obviously when you're donating like this, there's a tremendous amount of people who donate $20, $10, $5. And again, without their support, this would not happen. To give you an idea, over 42 people donated $250, and over 19 people donated $500 or more. Again, thank you very much, and it's an honor to be here. God bless.
Back up there. Third coin of the day. To our commissioner. It's the exact same one I gave to Judge Kopriva. And again, I want to focus on honor, history, and freedom. Thank you, Commissioner. Okay. Before I move on, I just want to also acknowledge the group in front of me, the American Legion Riders from Post 516, providing us this color guard, and the Harley-Davidsons to your left, my right. I also want to give a shout out to AC Sickles, just hiding back there in the shade. He's the one in charge of Blair County's 250th program, and he'll be down in Fort Robideau later today, other events. AC's bringing it all together. Fantastic job, AC. Thank you. So, it truly has been an honor for the American Legion Post 516 to spearhead this effort and to raise the funds from our community to repair this clock tower. Think of it as an American Legion GoFundMe page. Oh, come on. That was funny. The Altoona Mirror called the campaign Perfect Timing to celebrate the 250 years of independence. I can't tell you how many people said to me, "You're not going to get 75K. You're right. We got over 100K. Well, we must have touched the hearts and minds of several patriotic members in our community as we raised that money from over 130 sponsors. The sponsors are truly the unsung heroes of this campaign. We couldn't have done it without you. I want to thank the board and my fellow Legionnaires for their support and service to this campaign. Big shout out to Beth Burns, who was already up here for a casino night. There will be another one, and raised over $8,000, and it was a heck of a good time. Thanks, Beth. So, I also want to tell you about when I made the presentation to the commissioners. I said, this is what we want to do. And before I got the words out of my mouth, this one says, I'm in. So I appreciate that the three commissioners shared our vision to bring this event today and to maintain the clock tower for years to come. As we celebrate the 250th anniversary, we should be proud of the accomplishments Americans have achieved through those 250 years. Over the last 250 years, American ingenuity has led the way, moving us forward. Let us take a few minutes to pay tribute to American inventions and special events in our history. 1752, Ben Franklin had a kite. It became electric. 1783, the Treaty of Paris, the agreement officially ending the American Revolutionary War. Mr. Franklin came back when he invented bifocals. 1787. Why is that year special? The U.S. Constitution. 1793, the cotton gin. 1837, the telegraph by Sam Morris. 1854, Horseshoe Curve was built. It was built with shovels and picks. Think about it. It was an engineering marvel of the time and even still today. It was so significant, it was on the Nazis' hit list, but that failed, thank God. So that's something special that we have, all of us, here in Blair County. In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. 1865, the Civil War would come to an end, and we would be one nation. 1869, the Transcontinental Railroad, 1,912 miles long. 1876, the telephone by Alexander Graham Bell. And do you know when the first mobile phone call was made? That was in 1973 in New York City. Light bulb, which would become the emblem of a good idea. Of course, that's Thomas Edison. One of my favorites, Coca-Cola, was invented in 1886 and is invented by an Atlanta pharmacist, Dr. John Pemberton. In 1902, you're going to be surprised, air conditioning was invented. Now, I don't understand why my parents in the 60s didn't know about air conditioning being invented in 1902. I won't put you on the spot, Mom. 1903, the Wright brothers, the first in flight that would take off from there. Boom. 1918, World War I ends on the 11th hour, the 11th day, the 11th month. The war to end all wars. Well, maybe not. 1920, the 19th Amendment is ratified, granting women the right to vote. 1927, Lindenberg's transatlantic flight took 2 days to go from the United States to France. 1945, World War II will end. Also that year, something called the Slinky was invented by Richard and Betty James, and Hollidaysburg is the official home of the Slinky. 1953, polio vaccine by Jonas Salk. Also that year, one of my favorite things, the Chevrolet Corvette would first come out. And it's still in production today. There's one in front of the courthouse. How many other automobiles, vehicles that started in 1953 are still around today? Chevy Suburban. Here you go, Matt Stuckey. Ford Truck F-Series, Volkswagen, and Toyota Land Cruiser. Pretty impressive. In 1954, the microwave was invented by Raytheon. In 58, the microchip by Texas Instruments. In 1960, the laser by the Department of Defense. 1969, Apollo 11 mission. Neil Armstrong lands on the moon. One giant leap for mankind. 1970, fiber optics was created by Corning, and we actually have a representative here from Corning, Dr. Chuck Brandenburg. Give us a wave, Chuck. (1973) GPS, Global Position System by the Department of Defense. Then, in the bicentennial year of 1976, personal computers came out with the lead with Apple and IBM. 1982, the space shuttle, making multiple flights. 1983, the internet, created by Department of Defense and Al Gore. I thought some of you would get that one. 1989, stealth bombers. Also that year, the fall of the wall, and we won the Cold War. 1996, DVDs. 97, Wi-Fi. 2004, Facebook. 2005, Google Maps. 2007, smartphone. Doesn't seem that long ago. That changed the entire camera industry. And now we got a guy named Elon Musk who created Tesla and SpaceX. And we're now dealing with artificial intelligence and more. Who knows what Americans will do next? But you can bet it'll be something special, like people on Mars. Let's take a minute to focus on our service members who fought many wars to protect our freedom for the last 250 years. Regrettably, several of our sons and daughters have paid the ultimate sacrifice with their lives in helping our great country reach this significant milestone event. Let us be grateful for those who answered the call to duty, and let us never forget and be eternally grateful for their sacrifices. An estimated 1.3 million Americans have given their lives during all the major wars since 1776. I said it before, I'll say it again. If the Continental Congress in 1775 had not created the Army Senior Service, Navy, and Marines, there would be no Independence Day on July 4th, 1776. So let us be grateful for those men and women who answered the call. I also want to have a shout out to remember our service members currently in harm's way around the world. God's blessings upon them. As a point of order, when someone asks you, what do you identify yourself as? How do you respond? I know how I respond. I'm an American. I encourage you to do the same. Today we celebrate the return of the Courthouse clock tower in working order, somewhat. This day will go down in local history as the day the bell struck back. And you're all a part of it. Lastly, no longer will time stand still in Hollidaysburg. May this iconic building last for the next 250 years, and may God bless America, and may our country live to reach 500 years and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Well done. At this time, I'm going to ask the chaplain to give us our benediction. Uncover.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Lord, bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. And the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. Amen.
Cover. Thank you, Chaplain. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave the colors posted here if anyone would like to come up and get a picture with the flag. I also encourage you to go over and look at the thermometer that's bursting out. That makes a good video or picture. And lastly, there are 13 flags here in front of us. Feel free to get one, and I only ask that a family take one. So, happy 4th of July, and happy anniversary, the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. Have a great day, and God's peace be with you. For God and country.
Thank you. I'll post it on Facebook.
Okay, let me take a picture of it
Okay.
for myself.
Can I show it?
You want to do it?
Can I show it? I'm just going to show it. This is the program. And then here's the other side of it. And this guy is going to post it later.
On Facebook.
Yes. That later. Thank you, that was a good deed.
It worked out fine because I wanted to send pictures of it to my other peeps anyway, so now I have the picture.
So these are the members of the Altoona Brass Collective. They are awesome and we love to celebrate them in all ways possible. Here's another guy we know.
Hey,
that was so nice.
4th of July and 250th, everybody.
Did you run in the race?
I did.
Oh my gosh, you're standing upright. It was so hot.
It was a better day than yesterday.
Well, oh no, I agree with that. People are kind of milling about and saying hello and taking some pictures. Oh, there's a nice picture being taken right down the street there. So I must give a shout out also to Janet. That's Janet right there with her camera. Janet lives quite close to the courthouse, and she likes to catch all the awesomeness. Here's a guy who's an unsung person behind the scenes. His name is Denny Hare. He's helping everything go well. Here's Terry.
Hey, hi.
Was it lovely, Terry?
It was like
I think
awesome.
so too.
It was very good.
What is your favorite part?
Judge Kopriva's speech.
Judge Kopriva's
I love
speech.
it.
It was a good speech.
She did a super speech.
Awesome. Let's show that courthouse clock tower one more time for everybody. If you're not able to come and see it in person, I'm sorry, because the video can't really show how really nice it is, even though it shows What does that say? 20 to 9 right now on it. Little known fact.
How you doing, buddy? Hey, good to see you, Terry. Good to see you.
Here's a cool thing on the top
Thank you,
too.
same to you. Thank you.
All right, so thank you everybody who watched this lovely video, and happy birthday, America.